Well, welcome, Jon. Thank you so much for being on our podcast today.
What's up, girls?
Super excited.
So Jon started his career in 2018, and out of his first year, he won Rookie of the Year. And since then, he has skyrocketed his career. So share with our listeners a little bit about your journey.
So when I first started, got my license, I didn't sell any houses first year pretty much. For the first 2 years, I sold 4 homes. And I didn't know what to do. So I was just surrounded in a little tiny cubicle in Buffalo.
By yourself, not on a team? Okay.
No one's calling me. I didn't know I was posting on social media, but I was discouraged. But I didn't know how to write a PA. I didn't know how the lending side worked. So one time I met a client through another client that didn't get qualified. But that client gave me 20 referrals.
No. Oh, wow.
Literally, I was like, what?
Who is this client?
Right? No.
Who knows that many people?
He doesn't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell him. Give me some money or something. But,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's I was stuck with it and just kept going to the office and kept learning. But then after I got that client, I just kind of doubled down, just went all in. And I was so I was reading some books about just referrals and just do a good job. I was doing some lead gen, but it wasn't just not working out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So after I got that one client, give me all those referrals. I was what can I do for you guys and what do you guys want to make this smooth transaction? But a lot of my clients were from Puerto Rico, Hurricane Maria. So they didn't know how to buy a house, they didn't know anything. So they're asking me all these questions. So I became friends with a lot of these clients. And that's when just the referrals came in crazy.
And you didn't at this time too, when they were asking you questions, were you oh shoots, I don't know how to answer these questions.
And you're forced to learn, right? You had to learn the answers. So maybe it's the more questions, the better for a
the lending side and title, and how to translate and how to homestead a property, how to do a bunch of stuff. And it's I learned so much information so quickly that became just natural after the first year.
So what steps would you say you took that first year besides, or were you just saying kind of you organically just went into it and just learned as you go? Or were there certain things okay, I need to make sure I partner with a good vendor who I can go to and ask all of this, and a great title company. I know one if you need.
We got you.
That can help me answer these questions, or I need to go and join a team to try to have a mentor, or what did you end up doing?
So honestly, if I were to restart my career now, I would have joined a team and partnered with more people, right away, because it was hell, not selling anything. It was I had a family, right, to feed, and nothing was working out. I wish I'd done that, and just been more open to learning about other people instead of just being a secret agent and not posting on social media, and just kind of being selfish. I think so. I think I can do everything by myself, which is not the case. Because now I'm more team and I have more people around me, and I'm selling a lot more houses just by delegating more work and just trusting more people.
And then, well, sorry, I have another question then. So with your social media, you said you were just kind of doing that at first. Has that played a benefit or taken off for you?
So last year I didn't post much. The year before that, now I do.
We're friends. I see it. Yeah. I commented on it. I'm let's go.
I'm getting way more referrals now.
Yeah.
And people I never talked to are calling me, or people just look me up on social media. And they're like, hey, I want to work with you because you seem like you sell a lot of houses.
That's awesome.
They're just hey, I just want to work with you because you post a lot. You post a closing every other day, and it's been working quite a bit.
So who did you?
I think you gotta.
Oh, okay.
Who did you
go a little closer?
How did you learn to do the certain social media postings that you do now? Did you Google? Did you who did you follow?
Other agents.
Yeah.
You're okay, they grabbed me, they hooked me, so I want to do what they're doing.
There's Kelly Brown, right? But she's on another level, and then Brian Fisher was thumbs up all the time, but I don't do that. But you just get an idea what works. I just posting my closings, and I think that's and just writing a little caption in there, and a lot of people share them now, so it helps a lot too.
Do you have tips for getting more followers?
No.
We're gonna need someone to call in on that.
Do you notice a difference between stories and posts though? What gets more traction, or what gets more people being
On Instagram is stories, Facebook or posts for sure. But all my stuff comes from Facebook pretty much.
Oh, so you, because I only follow you on Instagram. Now I'm going to have to change that. So you post everything on Facebook first and then like do the share and to go to Instagram then?
Nope.
No?
It's
Okay.
like, it's like different stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know why Facebook just gives me way more clients all the time. Instagram doesn't give me as many. It's more like agents and lenders liking my stuff. Yeah.
And title people.
It's probably too like your
Papers.
sphere and how you're somehow grabbing those certain followers that are seeing your stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones that are your market. I wonder who.
So like for Thanksgiving, I got like 30, 40 bottles of red wine and gave them to like certain people on my Facebook list that bought a house. Because I knew they were going to share, and they were all sharing it. I did it like for a reason.
Yeah.
And like it's just like they share. I don't know. It's just more people on there for my
Right.
clientele, I think.
Strategic.
Right.
Yeah.
And what kind of like, okay, so you doubled your production quite a bit in the past 4 or 5 years. I don't know what 2018 to 20. I'm great at math,
Where are we
guys.
at? We in 22? No, okay.
So like, what would you say are like in doing that creates challenges, even though that's an amazing accomplishment and outstanding, but that does create challenges. So what did you do to overcome the amount of business being on your own?
Yeah, I didn't really know how to handle it because it was like overnight pretty much. And I was like out of shape and like I was stressed out and I was putting everything in the business first. And then like, so the person that taught me how to like do this at a high level but more efficiently was Paul Morrison. He's like, delegate more work. It's like pay more people to do more stuff. Get an assistant. And like he was right. Like as soon as I got an assistant last year, like it's easy to do anything now. So I just pay off. I don't pay her off, but like pass off more work to her and like other people just to like to do it. I don't make as much, but I have a life now. And that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah,
People are
it's
too
like that is
selfish.
the payoff, the
Yeah.
balance. Yeah.
I have like way better life and like every social life, everything. And like I'm a better dad and like he's just telling me like dude, like don't do it. It's not worth it. Do it by yourself. Just pay off. Or just like delegate all the work, and then you can escalate. You can keep growing.
That's good. So what kind of technology do you use to like manage all of your clients and keep track of all this stuff?
Just Trello. It's like just one app called Trello. It's for,
Trello?
Like, yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay.
It's for like teams to like manage like for like projects. I don't know. It's just really simple. Works for me. Like
Is it a CRM though?
no. Oh, for CRM I use Top Producer.
Okay.
I pull my clients and there are people that want to buy or whatever. Just have it like. But Trello I have them in there too though, so I can just go in there and like I see the list of people that are like hot. Potential listings, and I just have all divided up. But for me, it makes sense. It's just on my phone, so I just like click on different tabs. And just for me, I can just see everything there.
Do you
Right.
do you do it or does the assistant do
I
it?
do it all.
Okay. Because I can see that like we're going through this right now, like through Excel spreadsheets and CRMs and stuff like that. Like it is very time consuming but beneficial.
Yeah.
But I think Melanie would agree. We would love to pass that off to someone else and say,
Right.
like, can you enter this in? But they don't know the information like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And then I do keep a lot in my head too. So, but it's like I understand it has to be documented somewhere for certain things to make sense down the road.
If it makes sense to you, right? It's okay, right? Like I write little notes, like ideas for real
Yeah.
estate every day. Just write a little note in my notepad or whatever.
Right.
So you started to hire your assistant. I called admin, but assistant last year. What is the secret sauce in finding that person who works for you? Because like we hear at a lot of different brokerages, there's different kind of like caliber testings or disc testings, or like, how did you know that he or she would be a good benefit for you and then as well as your clients, so that you're making sure you're still servicing the clients as the high level that you were doing?
Somebody that's going to be Robin, right? And that doesn't want to be like the man or the person.
Yeah.
Because then that's when it gets iffy, when they want to like take all the credit. And you just got to find somebody that's not selfish and like just wants to be like on the sidelines, right? And be okay with that. 'Cause sometimes you can get people that just want to be that person. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like greed or whatever. He's like, well, I want to talk to her. It's like she's bilingual. Like she knows how to write in English and Spanish, and I need that. And I talked to her. She's like, I never want to be an agent. She's an agent now. She still want me, but like she's like, I never want to be like what you're doing. It's just too much stress and all that. So I was like, okay. She's been really good the last year. So
So did you find her on like Indeed or like how, or in the brokerage or?
She was my client.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was my client. She's like relocating to St. Cloud, and I was like, hey, like, do you want to just work with
That's
me?
the best way to find people too, is let people know that you're looking to, whether it's add to your team or get an assistant, because it's amazing how many people are like, oh, I do know someone that could be a good fit. You know, so you having known her already, that was very beneficial.
She was always on time with her like documents.
That's huge.
And then all this stuff for the house. So, okay, she's on her shit. Like,
Yeah.
And a bunch of little stuff. So, hey, I just asked her husband, and like, so yeah, I don't know anything about real estate, but I'll teach you. So she was at my hip for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And now she's like doing her own thing. Like she writes my PAs if she has to, or like just does a bunch of like the
Does showings and stuff like that too?
all that stuff
nice.
now. So, which yeah, she gets. I don't get my folk check now, but that's fine, right? Like, do the
Right.
dirty work for me. I can show more houses and like just be home a lot earlier instead of being in the office turning files in a bunch of the dirty work.
Yeah.
Well, the work-life balance is, I mean, a lot of people say there isn't such a thing as a work-life
All the
balance.
same for me.
Yeah.
I am my work. No,
But it is
Yeah.
like, it's important to have work-life balance, especially
Yeah.
like, you know, Melanie, you have the benefit of having at least an older son that you don't have to get like dressed, you know,
Right.
you've
Yeah,
done
no,
it.
I know.
You've been there.
I know. That's true.
John and I were dressing and, you know, wiping butts and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? So how do you balance that though? Because how do you balance the work life? Because that is, tell me please.
Yeah.
Because it is difficult, especially, I have 2 kids, you have 4.
Yeah.
That's a game
Are you
changer.
like, I don't take calls on the weekends?
Yeah.
Do that.
You-
I'll take them, but like I deny them if I know it's gonna be like. Sometimes I know the question they're asking, or you just kind of
Yeah.
know what's going on, and like yeah, I don't work weekends that much. I just don't do a lot of stuff on the weekends now. But I try to do everything like it's like I have my day set every day, right? Like the night before, I schedule my day. I know every meeting. I know everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I try to do everything like within like 2-3 hours. So before I just go to the gym, like in the afternoon, I have to go at 5 in the morning. Just have my peace and quiet.
It's probably the best part of your day.
The best part, and I can have my coffee. But
Yeah.
after the gym, when I'm drinking my coffee, I answer all my emails. And just kind of do a bunch of like the stuff that's annoying stuff, just get it done. Then I just have like my top things to do, get that done. Just try and be done by like 4 o'clock. And like show houses, like the thing is like
yeah. Are you showing houses at night or are you kind of giving that to your,
depends, but like when I show a house, like I try to win the offer, right? Every time. So Ryan Fisher taught me how to win every offer. So
Really?
yeah, so he told me. So then like
We should have asked him that question.
I know.
no, he told me one time before I even joined this team. He told me I was like, I'm not joining the team no more.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. No, but yeah, like I try to win every
Yeah.
offer. I tell my clients we got to win this if you really want. So it just makes it a lot easier up front, and it just
Yeah.
saves you a lot of time if the clients are on the same page as me.
And you're already setting the expectation with your clients, so then they do understand that this is like how you're going about it or how going in and going negotiating. Because I do feel like too, especially now, I'd be interested in your take on this, is a lot of people expect like, okay, well, I still want to get 20,000 more for my house because that's what it was. Well, that's not what it is anymore. Or I want to go in and if, as long as you set the expectation and understand their needs of, okay, so we are going to actually, in order to get the house that you want, you are going to have to give a little bit more. Or if that's not in your price budget, then we have to, you set the expectations of what you need to be looking for.
Yeah, set up up front, set everything up, like sit down with them for like an hour before, or I always sit down with them before I go shopping, so you can tell them how it's gonna be like the
Right.
whole time. Like that, it's just easier. Hey, you have to beat 20 offers, and we beat them 20. We beat 20 offers out. This is how we're gonna do it. If there's no offers, then this is how we do it, and then it works.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just gotta talk to people and like explain to them. Because at the end of the day, like you want the house or not, or we can do this for like a whole month or 2, and you'll probably hate me, or we can try and beat out everybody, and it's just really simple.
Educate your clients.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you can have more time too. So
Yeah.
And then you get to go home and wipe butts, as I said earlier.
almost
Yeah.
done. I think they're potty trained. They're all potty trained now.
Yeah. I'm
my
more potty
gosh.
trained, but it's still something.
Yeah. No, that's good.
What advice would you give to someone new starting in you kind of said this a little bit
Yeah,
earlier and
right.
touched a little bit on this, but I want to see if it's still the
Advice to your
same.
younger self type of thing, really.
Yeah.
It's like,
But to a new agent in the business, if you met a new agent at a networking event, what would you say to them?
Just do open houses. To get your name out there, and just don't be scared to like just reach out to people. Just be aggressive. Don't be like scared about failing. and join the team because you get leads coming in and like get your feet wet and just be aggressive and just don't be scared of anything. And this is one model I live by. Like you can do one deal or you can do 15 deals. It's the same amount of stress. So do 15. I swear to God, I just have 1 or 2 deals that were stressful. I can have 15, it's the same amount of stress.
Right.
And then just take as much as you can. And that's when you start figuring it out. It's like the same amount of stress with 1 or 2 or 10 or 15. You start doing high.
How do you manage your stress? Any tips on that?
How to manage it?
Besides your gym workouts at 5 a.m.
I don't know. I just try. I'm like the problem solver. Just like
Okay.
figure out the problem. If I have to cut a commission, like take less or something, or I have to pay for something just to get it done, like plumbing or something, just whatever it is, just get it done. Get to the closing table because like I got other shit to worry about, and like it's like life is there's other things to worry about. Just close it, and then but then if you close that client, then you get more referrals. That's the other person has another house. That's the way I look at it. You like they get a house, and that person's not. He's gonna have parties and family events. Then you get referrals.
Because you're not even having to, right now where your business is at, you don't even need to necessarily lead generate because your referral basis is continuing to refer you.
Yeah, so the last 245 clients were all referrals in the last 2 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then it's all thanks to just Paul Morrison. He's the referral base. He's an agent out of St. Cloud. He's like, hey, just do referrals and do a good job. And yeah, it's coming in. I do the same thing every week. I talk to all my past clients at least once a month. And I send cards every month and Popeyes every 3 months, and then stuff just comes in. It's intentional. I do this stuff, but it works.
Are you asking for the business every single time?
Nope, I never ask for business. Never. Yeah, everybody's like, "Wow, you can get more business," but I don't know. I don't need to ask.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to get to that.
Yeah. No kidding.
Well, where can people find you?
What do you mean?
Like door knocking? Oh, but wait, I'm kidding.
My house.
No, I mean sorry. I mean social media,
Yeah, someone wants
website,
to reach
things
out to
like
you.
if
Maybe
they want
somebody wants to sell their house and they were listening to this podcast right now.
Call me on my cell phone. Maybe not Instagram or Messenger. I really don't look at them that much. I do, but I don't. But just call me or just text me.
Well, we'll put your information in the show notes then.
For sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, girls.